Hey, welcome to the Living Yoga series. My name is Darren Main, and we are going to talk about religion and why so many religions seem to be fearful of yoga. When I first started teaching yoga many years ago, yoga was very different than it is now. It was much less known broadly. It was mostly hippies doing it in church basements. I moved to Montana. I'd moved there from New England, which was relatively open and liberal, and I moved to Montana where I was met with an interesting reception. People either really liked what I was doing and they were really excited to have this long-haired yoga teacher come to town, or they were very hostile toward me. I got numerous comments from individuals as well as members of various denominations, Christian denominations, the pastors and preachers and whatnot, telling me that I was doing the devil's dance and I was teaching people to leave the church and find Satan and all kinds of other things that I completely didn't understand. I didn't understand why they were so upset with me. I was just teaching a class at the local gym and at the cultural center. And what I realized is that so much of what they thought they knew about yoga was not accurate. They were pushing back against what I was teaching, but they weren't, or what they thought I was teaching rather than what I was actually teaching. So I thought we would take a look at why that is. I get emails all the time from people who are doing yoga and their mother or their father or their priest or their imam. It's not just Christians, it's many of the more conservative branches of all the world religions, just have these deep concerns about their followers doing yoga. And I get these emails all the time. So let's see if we can do a little bit of a dive into that, understand why, maybe put a few minds at ease, and maybe give you some tools to talk to your friends and family who might be concerned about your soul. So the first thing we need to understand is, what is theology? Theology is obviously something that is associated with various religions. It is a system of beliefs, and usually it's tethered to articles of faith. So, for instance, Christians may believe that Jesus rose after 3 days, or Jews and Christians may believe that Moses parted the Red Sea. Certainly Hindus have specific beliefs about certain things, and then they associate that with what that means for who we are, why we're here, to answer those universal questions that all human beings have. Yoga is not a theology. It doesn't require belief, and that's a really important distinction. It's why atheists can do yoga and get the same benefits as somebody who goes to church or synagogue or the mosque or the temple every week can get from yoga. So yoga is what is known as a spiritual science. It is just like Western science and the scientific method have really formulated these tools to look in a non-judgmental way at the universe, whatever they're observing, whatever experiment they're running. And they gather data from that, and then they make more informed choices, and they gain a certain degree of predictability so that they can make better choices in the future. The same is exactly true of yoga. It's a spiritual science. It doesn't require you to believe anything, it requires you to observe things. If you do these poses, what's the outcome? If you breathe in a certain way, what is the outcome? If you meditate every single day, how do those days go versus the days that you don't meditate? How is your health as a result of these practices? How is your emotional self? Are you more grounded and more open, more loving, more compassionate? So there's a big difference between what religions do, which is teach theology and promote theology, and what yogis do, which is run experiments and gather information and hopefully make more informed decisions as we wind our way through life. And this brings us back to our core question for this video. Why are people of faith, many, not all, so afraid of yoga? And the truth is they really don't need to be. And if you take science and the scientific method and you apply that to religion, someone may, say, get a cancer diagnosis and they may go to church to pray about that. They find solace there, and that is a wonderful thing. But that doesn't mean that they shouldn't go to the doctor and engage in science. get chemotherapy or radiation or whatever the oncologist recommends. Those two things are not in opposition. We have spiritual needs on the one hand, that they are hopefully being fulfilled in the context of the religious setting, and then there are physiological needs that their medical doctor is meeting. The same is pretty much true for yoga. Yoga is not seeking to replace religion. As a matter of fact, many of the deeper states of awareness we have as a result of yoga are best understood through the lens of some sort of faith-based system. So one can go to church and one can practice yoga, and not only do those two things not conflict with each other, they actually complement each other. One can help the other. Your faith can help inform your yoga practice, and your yoga practice can inform your faith. Or they can be completely separate. I did another video recently on atheism and yoga and why atheists can practice yoga. This is largely the same reason. There is a difference between theology and yoga, which is a spiritual science. I hope you found that helpful, and I hope when you talk to your family and friends about yoga who might be concerned about it conflicting with their faith or yours, that you can just explain that when I'm more quiet, more open, I have a better relationship with the church I go to, or the mosque or the synagogue. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you will take time to subscribe. There's many other videos. I got more coming out soon. If you want to support financially, Patreon is a great way to do it. I have a Patreon page. It's in the notes. You can also like us on Facebook and Twitter and anywhere else you'd like. And if you have questions, please put them down below in the comment section. I'll do my best to get to them. Finally, if you get a chance, please visit our website, thelivingyogaseries.com, also linked below, and visit my page on Amazon and Audible for some of my books. Thanks so much for listening. Namaste.